Welcome back. We're getting ready to start day 7, and let's draw our card here. And it's subtract 3 from battalion move rolls in the air base, friendly rear, friendly transit, and front line. So basically, that's saying anywhere that is threatening us. So all the way up to here, they're going to subtract 3. And then obviously the enemy in the rear could potentially move forward. This is an awesome card because it's a major friendly offensive is what it's called, and I will take it. So what that means then is we don't have to worry about 3A so much. He's going to be getting a -5 to his die roll because of the he always gets a -2, and that's adding another -3. But what is 3A? Because I am looking at just points here, right? 3A is worth 3 points, and he's not too hard. So we may take out 3A anyways, but I'm looking at this front line here. They all only give 1 stress, right? So I don't have to worry about priority R&R anymore. They only give 1 stress, and we got some juicy stuff here that I think we can take out. So 3A is this one. He's the one that you see up here on the friendly transit line. So I think we're going to ignore him, and we're going to take the gamble that a -5 to his die roll will move him backwards or at least hold him in place. But that's 3 points if we choose to go after him. 3 points is not bad, and that's not super hard. I mean, 4 infantry and 2 tanks and 2 anti-air. I mean, I guess that one can be a little challenging, but it's not the worst. All right, so I'm taking out the guys that are in the back. So actually, I'll let you see. These are the guys that are in the way back. So here's guy number 1. That's a nice 5-pointer, but it's all the way in the back. And then the infantry force. This one is in the back. And then I have, oh man, my eyes are getting so bad. 14A and 8C. Here's 14A. So there's some 5-pointer and 2 3-pointers. But if I'm going to go after a 3-pointer, I might as well go after this one who's closer to us, right? So these 3-pointers are definitely not worth going after. That 5-pointer is nice to keep in our sights, right? Okay, and then way in the back is the fixed 8C, which is this guy. He's another 3-pointer, and he's not easy. I mean, the only reason to go after him is you get 3 experience points, but otherwise, there's nothing easy about this one. And it's only 3 victory points. So again, for the same reasons, we're going to put him in the back. But everybody else, though, is up front. And this one I'll put on the top of the pile back here. So all these guys are up front. 1, 2, 3. Making sure I have all the right cards this time. So remember, like we said, this guy is way up front. So 3-point opportunity there. So now on that front line, we have this one, which I apologize. I guess he gets 2 to his, or no, I'm sorry, he's damaged. He doesn't get 2. We already took 1 point out of the 3 on this one. So this one's only worth 2 points, and he's half strength. Okay. We have this one on the front line. I think we found ourselves a nice winner there. That's a 5-pointer. And then we have this one, which doesn't look very fun. Sorry, I just dropped stuff on the floor. And then we have this one. That's a nice juicy 4 points. But everything gets 1 to the range of, so that battalion gets 1 to all of its anti-air. That's awful. And then we have a 2-pointer, which at 6 infantry, that one's not an easy one for 2 points. But that's what we got on the main line. So, and it's only 1 stress to go after targets at this line, so it's worth doing. Like I said, the one that's damaged, we can sort of leave him be because he's just going to keep regressing. but he is like a good target for maybe like our helicopters, the crappy ones. We can try to go after those again, get the nice cannon. I'm only at 2 SO points though, so I think I need to do something about that, and I do think I'm going to have to go on copper transport duty to get 2 SO points back, because that puts us back up to 4. Um, as much as I would love to have those choppers help me get points, I need the SO points at the moment. If anything, it's to repair our stuff, and so we can spend it on missions. But maybe I'm getting a little premature here. I mean, I calculated I needed 5 points per turn to be able to get a good rating. Now, one thing is that there's a big 5-pointer in the back line, as you may recall. I'm banking on the fact that he's going to move forward, so that way he's not as far back next turn. So we can go after him on day 8. And technically speaking, if I go after him and this 5-pointer, that's all I need to do, right, to get a good rating. I do have to destroy this particular one, and he doesn't look easy, with 2 helicopters, 2 SAMs, 2 anti-airs, and 10 tanks. But I think we could make a go at it. The F-16 would for sure go in this one for the helicopter purposes, and maybe the Warthog would have to help him. And with the 10 tanks, that's one heck of a battle with 10 tanks. Holy buckets. 2 SAMs, 2 anti-air. Yeah, but it's 5 points, folks. That's worth doing. And like I said, 5 points from that and 5 points from the other one, we win the game. So then it just becomes, what do I do with my 2 transport helicopters? I think for this turn, I take the SO points. Technically speaking, I have 2 SO points, so I have what I need to do 2 missions and spend 1 SO point on each mission. So I don't necessarily need the transport helicopters to get me 2 extra SO points. I can add them to these missions that already exist, but I'm still going to get the SO points. I really think that I'm going to maybe spend more than 1 SO point to get munitions, especially for this particular mission. I mean, with 10 tanks, I need I need the AGM 65s or the GBU 16s to go up against those tanks, and I really think that it's going to be helpful. So let's say we did that and I used the Warthog and the F-16. So I'm going in with 24 weight points worth of goodies. If that's the situation, I'm probably going to spend 2 SO points to make sure they have all the goodies that they need. Thing is 2 SO points is going to be overkill, because I'm probably going to take a lot of the GBU, which will cost 2 weight points each. I can take some AIM 9s, which will help. MK20s also are helpful. But if there's 10 tanks, MK20s might not be very effective against them. The Thunderbolt guy gets a +3 to all of his rolls, so the MK20s are actually really good for him. But I can take some GBU 16s, 7 of them, load them up on the Thunderbolt, and just take out 7 of those 10 tanks, and then I take 4 on the F-16. So I'm taking out 11 of those guys, except there's 16 of them. The AIM 9 would take out 2 more, so that'd be 13. I'd be taking out 13 of those 16 guys, and then they can leave 5 points behind. I actually theoretically could do this with nothing but those. That's a very interesting concept. So then I have 2 Apaches left. So what would they do? Well, we would go after maybe like a 3-pointer, right? That's what they would do. And then that would get me, like, could I possibly get a great rating? No. I'm looking at, I would need 11 more points to get a great rating. So that would mean I would need a 6 and a 5 extra on these last 2 days. 6 points and 5 points extra. I don't think I can pull that off. I mean, I can get maybe an extra 5 points this turn. So that would mean next turn I would have to use my transport copters to help me get 6 points the next turn. I mean, it's possible, but whew. That guy that's half damaged, I can get 2 points out of that, right? And I can probably do that with just one chopper. So then I have another chopper that could probably just get. Yeah, so I can get 2 points for that one, and then I can send another chopper to try to get 3 points. But yeah, I just don't see an easy. The one that's damaged is pretty easy. I can go in and get. He only has 6 units, but I could save that for the transport choppers later. Where do I send my 2 Apaches this turn? I mean, I'm leaning towards, let's try to take out their air defense and get 4 points. But boy, oh boy, that's going to be a tough mission. All right, let's try it though. That's what I'm going to do. So the 2 Apaches will go that way, and we're going to take a lot of hits. That's my only concern with that path. And then this, put back. All right, so this tank force is going to be our first target. And we're going to come in with our damaged Warthog and F-16. I'm going to spend 2 SO points on this one. And we're going to get 2 AIM-9s for the F-16. And one, well, I may not need 2 SO points. Let me count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, I'm going to need 2. Excuse me. There's all GBU 16s. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoops. That's not working. Oh, I don't have any more GBU. I wonder if I'm component limited on this. I don't think I am. I think it said I could use markers and buy more components than are listed here. But I only have 3 more GBU 16s. That's my issue. What I could do is get GBU 12s out. So that's 3 points. 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I could grab a whole stack of, that's GBU 12s. So I'm just going to independently spray those things everywhere. But they hit with a 4. But we're going up against 10 tanks. So that's the problem. The GBU 16s are good against those tanks. And nothing else really is. Except for the AGM 65s. They do take 2 weight points. And they need to be aimed. But maybe that's what we do. Maybe we don't worry about it. So this is 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to take 4 AGM 65s. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 7 times 2. That's 14 weight points. And then that's 7 total SO points. 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm spending 13 SO points, or 13, which means I need to spend 2 SO points. Because I get 10 points for each one, and I got 13 sub points. I don't know what you call them. I'm going to say 13 sub points. Now, if I take just 3 of them away and take something free, then I can get an SO point back. That's the big dilemma, is what do I take away to get for free? I mean, I can get the AIM 92s for free. They hit with 7, a die roll of 7, but the F-16 gets a +2. So they hit with a die roll of 5. That's not nearly as good as a 3, a guaranteed hit of 3. But I could, do that, but that would actually, the F-16 doesn't take the AIM 92s. And you can see that right here. The 2 AIM 9s are absolutely a must-have. I can get rid of the... Nope. There's nothing to get rid of. I mean, like I said, if I wanted to really chintz, I could... But the whole reason for sending these choppers on the 2 SO point transport run was so I could do this. So I'm going to do that, and we're going to hope that we really take out some serious stuff. Okay, so let's draw our mission. And did I draw a return home? I think I did. Yes. Gain +1 on attack rolls during the first loiter turn. I forgot to do that the last time we hit that particular card. And this time around, I'm going to have to remember. I'm shuffling our mission event deck right now. So we get +1 attack during the first turn. And that's even better, because that means we need to go after tanks, like big time, because the tank gives us a -2 to our die roll, and we always said if we rolled a 1 we miss, but this is giving us a +1, and the GBU 16s hit on a 0, so the worst you can roll is a 1. So that means we can't miss on this first turn against tanks. So that's the part I'm really looking forward to. All right, we got that done. What did I do with my tiles? Oh, here they are. One. Okay, so we have one private zone here, one private zone here, another one here. I'm not as worried, because in order to launch these GBU 16s, we got to go high anyways. So we're going to aim high, Air Force. Boy, that's an old tagline. All right, so what do we need? We need 2 AAAs. And those are nasty. We need 2 helicopters, which are always nasty. We need 2 SAMs, which are the nastiest of them all. The range of 3, they hit the entire board basically. And then 10 tanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. I'm probably missing a tank. Somewhere I'm missing a tank. I only have 9 in my component list. So I'm just checking. See if I accidentally threw it somewhere else. If not, we'll just use a command token. That'll count as a tank. Oh, nope, here it is. He was in the wrong pile. He was with the command token. So there we go. There's the 10th one. So yes, you're using every component in the game here. So let's roll for the 2 anti-air. It's a 9 and a 7. So with this one being in the pocket, it's actually, he can't hit us as long as we're low. But that's not always going to be the case. But it does mean it allows us to pop up. And so one of the things I'm looking at here is we might be able to, like, come in at low, and then on our turn we just pop up and then just shoot the crap out of everything around us. Let's do the SAMs. 5 and 4. Again, this one is going to be shielded from us, at least in the beginning. And we can do the same thing here. We can just pop up and just shoot spray around us. But remember, even with the independent shots, we can only hit one other hex. I don't think we can shoot more than one other. What did I do with the rule book? I'm pretty sure that we can't. Okay, the weapon can attack a unit outside the 1 hex being attacked by your aircraft, provided that unit is in the aircraft's attack angle. You declare that your A-10 will attack units in a hex directly in front of the A-10. GPU-12s can attack units in that hex as well as units in the same hex as your A-10. You know what? It doesn't say you're limited to just, I think you can spray and pray everywhere. I think you can hit multiple other hexes. You're not restricted to just one other hex. It doesn't say that here at all. It says a weapon can attack a unit outside the 1 hex you're being attacked by your aircraft, provided the unit is in the aircraft's attack angle. That's the one thing, is the attack angle is important. I mean, if you're facing, for example, this way, your attack angle isn't behind you. And I think I've sort of been breaking that rule a little bit, because sometimes I'm shooting at this hex over here when I'm facing this way. So I got to be more mindful of that. But yes, if I'm here facing this way, basically these are the only 2 hexes that aren't in my attack angle. Everything up here is in my attack angle. So anyways. So yeah, I think we can hit more than one thing. And the whole reason I'm asking this is because I have these 2 SAMs here, and I want to basically be able to pop up into high altitude and then knock both of these out in one shebang. Pop up in high altitude here and knock both of these out in one shebang. That's where my mind is. We're going to basically come in low and then surprise them. So where's the 2 helicopters? 4 and 2. These 2 might not be as easy because in my example, you got an attack angle. So here's 2 and there's 4. So that might be interesting. My my F-16 is a fast pilot, so I do get to go first, and that will make a difference. All right, and then we're going to do the tanks. 8, 2, 2, 8. Five, 5, 6, and 9. And 1, 2. All right, that's our situation. So how do I want to do this? With the F-16, I can zoom across the map quite handily. Hmm. The Thunderbolt pilot is not fast. That's the issue I have. So wherever he starts, he's getting hit. But the F-16, that's not true. Yeah, I think I got the plan then. So the F-16, where are you at? Mohawk. Okay, so Mohawk can start here at low velocity. And then Buck can start here facing this way at low velocity. So the plan is this guy goes first. He's going to rise up to high altitude. I said low velocity, low altitude I meant. He's going to rise up to high altitude and just spray the crap out of everything around him. Just do tons of damage. And this guy has a range of 1. So as long as he doesn't end his turn here, here, or here, we're okay. But he does have to end his turn somewhere. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the usual game I play where I'm going to just loop around and end up right back where I started. Then this guy can absorb that hit because he evades 1 hit. So I don't have to worry about this tank hitting him. And then he's going to rise up to high altitude. He's going to attack the tank in the spot that he's in and then spray and pray everywhere else that he can. Actually, this helicopter, though, he can't hit. So maybe that's not a good idea. The problem I have is that these 2 SAMs are a problem. Those are the problem. So what I could do with this guy is move 1. If I'm facing this way, I can't hit here. If I'm facing this way, I can't hit there. Or there. Ugh. How do I do this? The issue is my helicopters. The helicopters, like I can take him out with him on turn 1, but they can't do anything about this one. But see, he doesn't have line of sight. He will have line of sight on me here. So if I go zing, zing, and zing, this guy's going to just move in and attack. Because he can ignore ridges in his movement as long as he has line of sight. So that's the issue. Now, if I stay low altitude, that's fine, but I'm using GBU 16s and I can't hit anything at low altitude with him. So that's the problem. I could start, no, there's just nothing I can do. Now the next question is can I shoot my independents at a different place? Like if let's say I'm attacking this sector here, can I move here and then shoot independents after I move here? Like that's considered like 2 different attacks then. I don't think I get to do that. I think I have to, wherever I am, that's where I launch my independents from. So, the independents, how much range do they have? Only 1. It's like if they had a range of 2 or more, I could do it. Like the AGM 65s have a range of 3. So I could do some serious damage with the AGM 65s with a range of 3. So I could like sit where I am and just shoot from really far away. Like for example, this guy can start here and shoot his AGMs into all 3 of those. The problem I have is this helicopter. I need to take that helicopter out. And that would have to be my area that I attack if I do that. Dang it. I could start Buck here. These two tanks won't do that much damage to me. I'll block one of them. But again, it's the helicopter that's my issue. The F-16 could start here and take out this helicopter as its primary attack. And in doing so, be facing this way. And I could take out these three. And then he could... See, the problem is no matter where he finishes his turn, that helicopter is going to get him. I should have put an aim 9 on my my Buck. And if this guy goes up high, he's going to get hit by this, this, and this. So I have to take out both of the anti-airs. Right away. Ugh, this is not easy. No matter what, I'm taking hits. The issue is Buck doesn't have an aim 9. Like I could start Buck here. We could take one hit from these guys, which won't be so bad. It's this helicopter. That's the problem child I have. I can start Mohawk here, take out this helicopter, and even the SAM, right? Go up to high altitude. I could also hit these three that are here, but that's all I can do. And then I can even circle around and come back. But the problem is this helicopter moves up and shoots, and I get hit. Those two helicopters are going to protect each other no matter what I do. The only chance I have is to finish my turn more than one space away from this helicopter. So like, for example, I can go 1, 2, 3, but then I'm going to get hit by this guy over here because that's an anti-air that does massive damage. This is an anti-air that does massive damage. So I have the same problem. Now what I could do is I could put Buck in the same place, move him forward to here. His attack angle, how does the attack angle work? So if he's here and the attack angle's here, I can hit these two. That attack angle is a little odd, the way it works. It's very restrictive. I'm going to see if I think there's an attack angle picture in the rulebook so you can see what I'm talking about. It's a little hard to see the board from the camera up there. Aircraft movement, I can basically move anywhere except for just doing a 180. That part we figured out. It's the attack angles that's the issue. Here we go. See that picture? So when the aircraft is at the edge of one hex, he can only shoot, he can't shoot the hexes to the left and right of him from the hex that he's in. So that's the issue. And that's what makes the F6, like the helicopter can shoot anywhere because the helicopter can hover. And so then all those edges become available. This is the problem you have when you have an F-16 or a moving jet. So the Thunderbolts, for example, have this problem as well. And that's what's hanging me up. So if you're here, you can attack here, but you can't attack this one and this one if you're on this edge. If I'm on this edge, same deal. Now, like, let's say I chose to start here. I could take this out, of course. And then say I'm facing this way. I can even take these three out. But then I can't take this one and this one out, which is fine. But I have a helicopter here, a SAM here, and a SAM there that are going to tear me apart. The moment that I go up high, actually this one can't reach me. So this one and this one are the two biggest threats, but they're protected by the helicopters. And I don't have the ability to take out both helicopters. Like, no matter what, I'm taking damage. So now I have to decide. An aircraft attacks before it moves and then conducts movement. An aircraft can move, attack, and then move again. An aircraft performs all its movement, then attack. You must declare the target of all attacks before rolling. Roll for each attack and look blah blah. Aircraft can attack at any one time during its movement. It says one time. See that? So even with the independent weapons, I can't attack at one point and then move 2 spaces and attack again. That's the thing. Independents don't let me do that. Okay, I think I got what I need. I don't like the answer, but I got what I need. So this Mohawk can take out everything that's here. Yes, it can take out everything there. It's the helicopter that's the issue. Mohawk's the F-16. Sorry. See, like if I had AGM-65s, I could stay low and use those. They do allow me to use them low. So AGM-65s are useful that way compared to these independent GBUs. The GBUs actually are what's hurting me here. So Buck, for example, can start here, and I can take all 3 of these out without engaging them. But then the F-16's got to do something. And I think what I'm going to do is we're going to start here, because I got to take out this SAM and at least one of the helicopters. I just haven't figured out which one. I think it's going to be the one that's in my current location. So then this helicopter is going to be able to take a free shot at Buck. That's the problem. Now Buck, that's going to be 2 heavy hits, and Buck can reduce one of them to a light hit, but we're going to take a hit, a heavy one, and it's going to be before he gets to go. The other thing I can do is I could come up here, attack all of this, and damage something else, like that helicopter, for example. The problem I have is this anti-air will then be able to shoot at me because I'm going to go fast. This guy goes fast. So once he goes high altitude, this guy gets to hit me. And it doesn't matter where I am on the map, he gets to hit me. So I could run away from the helicopter. I can't run away from this. That's the issue. And he's in my current space, and I can't shoot a GBU behind me because I think it says it has to be within the attack angle. That's the problem. Is those independents can't just get launched everywhere. This is something I wasn't doing right before. Provided that it's in the aircraft's attack angle. Yep. So it has to be in the attack angle. That's my issue. And here's the thing. Like, let's say I started here. Like, I could choose to make, this my what I want to attack, right? So if I go this way, well, this and this are out of the attack angle, so I can't hit the helicopter, right? If I go after this helicopter here, then he's out of the attack angle. No matter what, you're getting hit with something, Jeff. So the best option is to take out these 2 anti-airs and 1 helicopter. That's the best option. And yeah, Buck is going to just have to take his hit. All right, so sorry for how long I've been taking on this, but this has been quite the puzzle. All right, so there's no pop-ups for the first turn here. Enemy cover roll is a 10, which is they would actually emerge. So nothing happens there. So it's our turn. Fast pilots go first. The Fighting Falcon is fast, so he's going to go high altitude. His target is going to be an AIM-9 against this helicopter. And then he's going to launch his GBUs. So 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. So he's launched everything he has. And where's he going to go? Well, he's going to go, 1, 2, 3, and just end up right back where he was. So we're going to do one of those maneuvers. This anti-air won't be able to reach him, and neither will this one. But that helicopter will see Buck, and he sees us, but Buck is closer. So that's going to be the issue there. Okay, so the tanks get a -2, but like I said, whatever I hit on this first turn is an automatic death because I get +1 to my attack rolls. So helicopter's gone. The SAM for sure is gone. That was never even a question. So both of them are gone. And using a GBU against the SAM isn't the best thing in the world, but it'll work. And then both of these tanks are gone without having to roll. So we just took out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them all in 1 turn. And the F-16 is actually not going to take a hit where he's at. So it becomes their turn. The only thing that does attack is the helicopter. And we are in the attack range, so he's not going to move. He's going to just stay where he is. And he's going to do 2 heavy hits on me, which turns into 1 light and 1 heavy. So let's draw the light first. And it's going to be 1 stress. The A10 would have... Oh, it's an A10. Yeah, I get to ignore the 1 stress. Well, that's something. And let's see if I get to ignore the heavy. That would be the big prize here. So the heavy is display. And I don't think that's good news for us to get a display damage. In fact, I think I'm going to get angry very soon here once I see what it does. The display is -2 to his standoff attack. Yep, that's not good. So I guess it could have been worse, but here's the deal. We're attacking these 3 tanks right now with the Maverick. So basically, I'm going high altitude with the Maverick. I'm coming in here to attack these 3 tanks, and then I'm going to also attack this tank over here. So so here's the good news. The only thing that's adversely effective is this, because the display gives him a -2 to that roll, but the AGM 65s can hit all 3 of these as just part of his standard attack. In fact, I could have stayed low if I wanted, and to hit that tank that's far away, I need to use one of my GBUs. So is that what I want to do? I think it is what I want to do. The other thing I could do is, like, if I come here, then I get attacked by this thing next turn. There's 2 tanks here that would have been nice to take out on the first turn. I just don't think I'm going to be able to pull that off. And we said we can leave 5 points on the field. Yeah, we're going to at least take out that tank right there if we can. And then I will end my turn here facing this way. Okay. All right. The AGM-65, because of our +1 to our die rolls, we're going to roll against 3 tanks. If I roll a 1, they miss. And there's a 7, 8, and 7. So all 3 of these tanks are down. And then this last tank, I hit with a 0, but I get a -2 because of the display damage. But I get a +1 because of my skill, so it's a -1, and then the tank makes it a -3. So that's a 6 -3. That's still more than 0, so I do hit the tank. Oh, and I got a +1 because of the round, so I would have been in even better shape. But there we are. So now we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15 points of units left. We at least got half of the damage, so we score half the VP. And we have 4 turns left. We did all that in 1 turn. Yeah, a long time. 46 minutes to go after one thing. Okay, so now we have to draw 2 pop-ups. And very good news there. 2 no enemies. We roll for cover. So I rolled a 2. Anything in the same hex as the aircraft goes into cover. Nobody's alive. So now we move to the fast pilot. So this is where the F-16 comes in. I got to take out the helicopter. So I have to stay at high altitude because I got to go over a ridge. So I'm going to go 1 and then 2 like this. That keeps me out of the anti-air range, and it lets me take out the helicopter. And I'm stopping at 2. So all I'm doing is taking out the helicopter. I have that, which is an automatic hit with the F-16. So helicopter down. They're down to 12 points left. It is their turn. Nobody hits us. So then Buck has to also stay high altitude. And he's going to go 1, 2 like this. And as much as he would love the AGM-65 to hit this, a tank, he's got to use it against the anti-air. You know what? I don't have to use it against the anti-air. I could. Yeah, I'm going to use it against the anti-air, and then the 2 GPUs are going to be used against the tank in his current spot. So with the anti-air, I roll. And that 4 is a lot closer than you think because I got to take a -2 because of my display damage. But it's still enough. I only needed a 1, and I get a +1 because of my skill. So I took out the anti-air. Why was that important? Because the anti-air could have shot me back. Now these 2 tanks in the spot that I'm in, I'm getting a +3 to my roll. And I don't think there's anything I could roll to miss, in fact, because my +3 negates their -2. So I didn't even need to roll for those. And 2 more tanks out. So that was 6 more points worth of damage. I think there's only 6 left on the board. I got to hit one more thing in order for this to work. And I'm down to my cannons on both of my guys. So this is all I have is cannons left. This one is a juicy 4, but I have the cannon damage, which gives me a -2. So it's not quite as good as you would think. So we're down to 3 turns. I got to draw 2 pop-ups, and let's hope that nothing nasty comes out of here. And something nasty did come. So I got a no enemy, and I have a Sam, which is very, very nasty. Hits anything on the board. So let's see where he's going to be positioned. I rolled a 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's right in the middle of all the fun. All right. That's what I get for going high altitude. Okay, let's roll for cover. I rolled a 9. One hex with the most active. That would be this one, but there's nowhere to hide, so nothing happens. Okay, it's our turn and I'm fast, so I'm going to go low with the Mohawk. He's going to go low, and we're going to enter this space, and with his cannon, we're actually going to attack the Sam, because I need to kill the Sam, and his direction is going to be this way. So he's attacking his own space. He gets a +2 to his die roll against that Sam. He needs a 7, so it becomes a 5. And I rolled a 3, so I missed miserably. It just frustrates me to no end. It was a 50-50 chance. So then I'm basically going to go 2, 3, and I'm going to be facing that Sam again, and I'm going to have to take 2 heavy hits from the Sam. So here they come. Not happy about that at all. And so this guy was, there we go. That says 2 stress and attack of -2. So the 2 stress just applies right away, and that is not so bad. Oh no, it is bad, because he already has 3, but we're okay. The attack of -2 stinks, because that means that he attacks next turn with a huge disadvantage. So now it's this guy's turn, and I have to stay high to get over the ridge, but I'm actually going to go 1, 2, like so. Oh crap. No, I can't. I'm just going to go 1. That's it. Just go 1. Oh man. I'm going low, and I'm going to roll for ridge evasion. I rolled a 5, so I take 2 stress for evading a ridge, and I had to give that to my guy. And the reason is because I need to go. This guy will hit me if I stay high altitude, and I need to hit the Sam. So I'm going into the zone, and I'm going to face this way, but I'm attacking the Sam. I got to take out that Sam. I know that's not my goal, but I have 2 more turns left to try to do cannon shots against the tanks. But that Sam is too powerful, so I got to roll and see if I can get him. And I did. This was a 7, so I did roll a 7. I get a +3 to my roll, but a -2 because of the cannon. So it's really just a +1. And so even if I would have rolled a 3, I think I would have hit. So it was a pretty good roll. And the reason I get the +3 is that guy has a cannon shot of +3. So it's very helpful. So we got the Sam destroyed, the pop-up. I'm just going to throw that back in the cup. And now I'm at low altitude. He has 1 evade, so this tank isn't going to hurt him, and this is never going to hurt them. And like I said, I still have to destroy one of these tanks, and it's not going to be easy, but I now have 2 turns left to try. And with the F-16, I'm going to try against this one, just because 1, 2, 3, I'm going to do a loop around again, and we're going to go ahead and try. Actually, we'll try against this one. I think I need a perfect roll here, and that's not going to do it. 5. This thing gives me a -2. That becomes a 3. Yeah, there's not even. I do get a, yeah, that's it. So, but he's going to not get hit. They go, they don't hit me, and now Buck gets to go. So Buck is going to do a 1, 2, like this, and we're going to try to hit that tank. I still need a pretty good roll, and I don't know if a 4 is going to do it. So a 4, so I need a 4 to hit, okay? The problem is this cannon gives me a -2. So that 4 becomes a 2. The tank gives me a -2, so that becomes a 0, and then I get a +3 because of my skill. I'm 1 short from hitting, so I miss. Now we go down to 1 turn. I could roll for cover, and I should have been rolling for cover, but it doesn't matter. I'm doing cannon shots from here on out. Okay, so we're on the last turn, so the Mohawk is going to come 1, 2, and then exit, and we're going to attack that tank. I finally don't have a -2, but I still need a really high roll. I rolled a 7. Ooh. The tank gives me a -2. I need a 7 to hit. The tank gives me a -2, and the Fighting Falcon gives me a +2. So that, my friends, sealed the deal. So now they go, nothing happens, and then we get to go, and so now I can go 1, 2, and exit on my own, and I can go ahead and attack that tank, and I need a better roll than a 4. This time I get a 5, so I do destroy the tank. In fact, I destroyed everything but that anti-air. I almost had a complete sweep, but I needed one of the two. I ended up getting both of them in that final turn. That was stressful. But the big thing is that was 10 lovely, lovely points. Those helicopters and taking those hits was the biggest stress of all. And we never drew it. And if I did, I'd probably retcon it anyways. But there's one that just flat out kills your pilot. He's not fun when you get him. And I don't like that in a game personally, but it's realistic, I guess. It's war. So don't want to argue about that. Just not a fun game. I mean, even if it is the way war is. Those helicopters are nasty. These SAMs are nasty. This was not an easy mission. That's for certain. All right, so we took some stress. I had to do a low ridge maneuver for Buck, but he had 0 stress prior to that, so that part's good. And let's sort out. We did take some damage. We're going to have to spend some SO points to repair. This particular one is only a 1 stress mission, and F-16 guy had 1 cool. Buck has 2 cool, so he actually loses 1 of his stress, so that was not a bad deal. Let's do the return home mission. 2 light wounds on an aircraft that does not expend a weapon counter. That's going to be both of them. That's not a good one. So we're going to do the F-16 first. So he takes a structure damage. And then he would take 2 stress, but it says F-16 on it. I don't know if the camera's ever going to focus. Yeah, and those aren't going to be readable. But here you could see 2 stress. Let's put it on the card. Does that make it easier to read? Heck no. Let's put it on the die. There you go, 2 stress. And it says in the green F-16. And you can't read that at all, of course, because that's green screen. So anyways, he does take a structure damage, though, which for an F-16, there's not a lot of structural damage it's going to be willing to take. And then 2 hits on the other guy. I got a structure damage and a no effect. And it does say AH on, it's an AH1. So another structure damage. Now that's getting a little dangerous. Or no, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, it is a little dangerous because he now has 2 structure damage. He needs 4 to crash. So I guess those things can take a bit of a beating. But All right, so trip home stunk. We did our stress. Let's get these dice out of the way. We're on day 7. And this was 1A. And our pilots are both ace and legendary, so they don't need to worry about experience points. We got an X and 5 victory points. Boom. That's 5 points right there. That's what we needed to get our good score. And then we're going to try to get 4 more now with this situation. And 2 Apaches to do it. So I'm a little concerned because there's a lot of anti-air and whatnot with this one. Before we get out our we have to arm our aircraft. So I am going to spend 1 SO point. That leaves me with 1 left. And what are we up against? SAMs, anti-air, and APCs. Just a whole bunch of everything. So we have what did I just take down? Oh, 2A, not 1A. So 2A is destroyed. And this one is 12A. Okay, the good news is none of these give us a -2 to our die rolls. And we can hover, so we can use our GBUs and attack in like every direction, manageable. Because when we're hovering, we can attack in all directions. So the GPUs could be quite powerful here. Now each one of those can only carry 4. So if I did 8 points of GBUs, I mean I have 10 points to spend, but I can. There are 8 units in the game. So, or in this mission, there's only going to be 8 units. So that actually works. Oh, these guys don't take GBUs. They only take bottle rockets and AGM-114s. Oh, why am I so silly? Well, we're going to get the Gucci bottle rockets then. Those are going to be... And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 6 points of those. So there's 3, right? And then 2, 4, 6 for the other one for 3. And then 2 AGM-114s. So I'm spending 10 sub points. And I got the AGMs. Why do I need AGMs if I have the bottle rockets, though? That's a good question. AGMs are more restrictive. Oh, they can shoot 2 spaces away. That's the thing about the AGMs that might be nice. We always forget about that, but we can shoot 2 spaces away with those. All right, we are equipped. Let's draw our... Inflict 1 heavy hit on each aircraft that does not expend a weapon counter. Oh, you suck. I'm inflicting the heavy hits. So let's do the Apache on the left. Okay, this is the wounded one. But, there, you can probably look at that one here. But it says AH-64 on the top. So we get to ignore it. A wounded. I think a wounded is you're basically your mission's over. You don't even get to attack. So that would be just brutal, 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 brutal. All right. So I drew 2 and I picked 1. And I just want to show you the other one that I picked before I throw it back in the cup. There it is. Oh, there it is. No, we got this one though. It's an altitude. So for the first turn, he has to go high. What the altitude one is he goes to the opposite altitude of what he's at. And here's the deal. We got this before before we placed our craft. So I'll just place my craft high and then the altitude will force me low. I don't really know what that, I think I can probably ignore this one. Let's see. Immediately change the aircraft's altitude. The aircraft will remain at this altitude until the end of the next turn. Ignores any additional altitude hits suffered until the end of the next. If it changes the aircraft to low altitude and they're over a ridge, you roll for a ridge invasion. So here's the thing. He doesn't have an altitude yet. We're still flying to our mission. So you could say, well, he has to immediately change it. Sure. So we'll say he was flying high and now he has to start low. So it's not going to be that big of a deal. I guess the biggest deal is I can't go high if I wanted to go over a ridge. So for the first turn, I'm going to be locked in at whatever altitude I choose, because I can always just choose the opposite of what I really wanted. Okay, so for our pilots, I forgot to mention, we're going to have Shadow. He's going to have a +2, +1, and he's coming into this with 2 stress. All right, and he's slow. And then we're going to have Flash, which I am worried about. Did Flash level up last time? I think I asked this before. Yeah, he did, and I just never... All right, so he's a veteran now. And Flash is maxed out on his stress. I mean, one more stress and he's going to get shaken. So we could have taken Tex, I guess, but Tex stinks. He's our newbie. All right. And I am going to have to keep track of which pilots with which plane, just because, or because of damage and whatnot. But let's get all this stuff out. Okay, so these ridges are going to make certain pockets hard or difficult, but it might help because there's going to be a lot of anti-air in this particular mission. In fact, we get 4 AAAs. Which have a range of 2. Okay, and then we get 2 APCs and 2 SAMs. APCs, not as much of an issue, but the SAMs are going to be a huge issue. And these aren't AAA sites, they're AAAs. So those are a lot worse. So we have heavy hitters all across the board. And that's what I'm worried about, because I sent somebody who's on the verge of his stress meter here. But we'll try our best, I guess. Here's the 2 APCs, 3 and 1. And then the 2 SAMs, 1 and 9. And then here's the AAAs, 7, 9, 4, and 4. This helps us a ton. So I don't know what I did with my pen. Oh, so look at this. This is a little private zone. Well, don't need to worry about that one. This guy, his only visibility is here. Okay, and I think maybe he can see around the corner, and I don't think so. His only visibility is here if you're flying low altitude. Here, they have no visibility because they're completely surrounded. So they're just a pocket of their own little mess. And then here, same deal, no visibility at all. So I can pick those off at like the tail end of the mission, and we can actually start out and take out both of these together as one set of targets, and same with this one. So flash is fast, shadow is slow. So shadow, for example, I don't know where to start him, to be quite honest. Oh, you know what? We start him in the same place as Flash. So we start Shadow here at low altitude, and then we start Flash also at low. And Flash is fast, so yeah, we're gonna be good. Okay, Flash has +2 standoff. Shadow is +2 in his own location. Okay, so Flash is going to hover right there. Shadow will be poised to move. Okay, so we're going to start off with, we're going to do cover roll. It's a 6 all infantry, so nothing happens. There's no pop-ups. So now we got to do Flash first. Flash is going to target this AAA, and we can't use an AGM, but he's going to use one of those. And I rolled a 9, so we get to keep it. So Flash keeps his bottle rocket. We took out this anti-air. That was key, because now it's their turn, and nobody can hit us. No visibility, no visibility. He doesn't shoot that far, and no visibility, because the ridge is in between us. All right. So now it's Shadow's turn, and Shadow's going to come out here, and he's going to hover. Okay. And then from one space away, we're going to shoot both of these. And so we're going to use the AGM 116s to do that. No. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. They both roll 4s. So yeah, we're going to use the AGM 116s to do that. So do I want to do more? I need a 4. If I don't roll a 4, I'm screwed. Shadow only gets a +1 to his die roll when he's in the same location. It really should have been the other way around, right? Flash should have been shooting at them. You know what? I'm going to make sure I hit the SAM. So I'm adding that to the SAM. So these two against the SAM, and this one will be against the other one. So we're going to do the other one first. That's a 5. That's enough. So we got the other one, the anti-air. And then for the SAM, I should have specified which one is which. So we'll say that that's the AGM, because that's the one on top. That was enough. I didn't need anything more. And then now I'm rolling to see if I keep the bottle rocket. And I do, because that's a 7. And I got a +1 to all my rolls. So everything I rolled was even better than it looked. But yes, these two are down. And this is a well done first turn. So we finish our turn. We go down to 4 turns left. Now they're rolling for cover. I rolled a 4. Anywhere there's destroyed units in the hex, they go for cover. So here's the plan. Both of these have to go high altitude at basically the same time, or otherwise it's not going to work. So Flash goes first because he's fast. And so I'm just going to not attack and just move forward, like so. Because if I attack now, I can hit these two anti-air, but this guy can hit me from 3 spaces away. And I don't want to do that. So it's their turn, and see, they can't hit anything. So now it's my turn, and Shadow's going to go high and move forward like so. Okay, because he's hovering, right? And so we're going to shoot 2 bottle rockets into their location, and I'm going to shoot 2 bottle rockets at the SAM because I need to make sure I hit that SAM. This one's against the APC. So these are the 2 dice rolls against the SAM. And you can see I got a 10, and then this one's a 4. So I only add +1. So I am going to lose one of these, but the other one I get to keep. And then the bottle rocket against the APC is an 8. And then I get to keep this one as well. And I took out both of these targets. So the turn ends. I'm now down to 3 turns left. And I do have to draw a pop-up. And it's no enemy. And then I'm going to roll for cover. It's a 2. Anything in the same hex as the aircraft gets cover. So now this guy goes fast. So he's going to go high altitude. And we're going to go, he gets a bonus doing standoff. He gets a better bonus from being 1 space away. So we're going to shoot from 1 space away 2 AGM 114s at those anti-aircraft. And then I'm also going to add bottle rockets to each one as well. Let's actually do 2 bottle rockets against one and 2 AGMs against the other. So I'm going to roll the 2 bottle rockets against one. And I rolled a 9 and a 2. So the 2 actually would have hit because I get to add a +2. But I get to keep one. The other one goes away. And anti-air destroyed. And then here's the 2 AGMs. Both of them would have hit. I rolled an 8 and a 7. But it's just super duper important that I hit because these guys can ruin our day. And I do have to move into the area, so I'm moving in. And which direction do I want to go? I'm at high altitude, so I think I want to just exit the mission. And then with my other guy, I'm also going to exit the mission. I don't care about destroying this last one. I destroyed the battalion, and that's all I set out to do. So we won. We took a bit of stress and damage, though. So anti-air comes back out. And the SAM goes in. And then 2 APCs. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Return mission. We've gotten nothing but bad stuff. But let's see what this one says. Keep this card at the start of any day. Reduce any one pilot's stress by 5. Ooh. That could be helpful. So we'll do that. Haven't seen that one yet this game. I'm going to discard my weapon counters because I don't need those. I finally had weapon counters on my aircraft. And now, of course, I don't need it. Okay, this mission only offered 1 stress, so Flash goes up by 1. He's now shaken. And then Shadow has 1 cool, so he gets none at all. So Flash, of course, has issues. Shadow does not. Now, as far as points go, Flash and Shadow both got 2 experience. And we get to add 1 to the range of every battalion, SAM, and anti-air. We did not have to worry about that because we made sure everything was behind the ridge. We never got shot at. So this was 2A. It's like Canada, 2A. All right, and then 12A. That's so funny. And then we scored another 4 points, folks. So we didn't quite get the 5 extra points or 6 extra points like we're predicting we would need, but that is 9 points. And that puts us at 40 right now overall. So maybe I can start writing it in there. But we got 9 points out of that. So we're at 40 right now. And we're moving on to day 8. So I would need, so 40 minus 15 is 25. I'm at 25 right now. Just putting it in perspective, I'm 1 point away from good. See, I'm at 25. I'm just at 1 point away from good, but I'm at 12 points away from great. So I would need 12 points this next turn, and I don't know if that's possible to get 12. I mean, I think we can get 5 pretty easy. We can get 1 like a snap of the finger. I think we can for sure get 5. I don't see us getting 12. So a great evaluation would be really tough. But considering how much our butts were getting kicked, if I get a good evaluation, I would say that Jeff did pretty darn good. Now, I know that because of the going to cover thing, some things were a little easier for me. And but you know, we've been playing with cover, and there are a few times where it did burn us, but it doesn't burn you as much as you'd think, because sometimes you don't roll the right rolls or whatever. But okay, so we're moving on to the final day, and let's first of all we get 1, 2, 3, 4 special option points, and then next we do no fly stress recovery. So whoever didn't fly on a mission recovers stress. Everybody who didn't fly has no stress. Then we move enemy battalions. So we start with the full 3A, and I rolled a 5. I think, didn't it say we get, no, we don't have anything nice happen. Oh yeah, right here. Subtract 3 from battalion move die rolls in the airbase, friendly rear, friendly transit, and front line. So 5 minus 3 is 2, minus 2 is 0. So he actually is going to retreat. Then 9A is a 1. He is for sure retreating. 7A is a 4. 2. He's retreating. That's actually hurtful. 3C is a 3. He gets a +2, which becomes 5. But then a -3, which is a 2. He holds. This 12A, I rolled a 1. He's retreating. 13A in the back, I rolled a 10. He's coming up. 1A in the back, I rolled a 10. He's coming up. 14A in the back, I rolled a 1. He stays. And then 8C in the back doesn't roll because he's fixed. Okay, so that's our situation. We have 2 battalions in the front line. Everything else is in the rear, which when you play most games that don't have this general war card, it looks a lot like this most of the time. You're losing weight points to go deep. That's why you want the Marauders, because they have 14 weight points. They're really good. Like, you can afford to lose a couple weight points and still get back there and do some damage. Or you need the extra SO points, right, to ignore it, because you have to fuel. We're sitting on 5 SO points, which will let us fuel, but now we have to decide to heal, and I am removing the display penalty on the Warthog, and that's going to cost us 1. And then I thought there was a bullet holes on one of these. Oh, I already removed that a while ago, I think. So we're going to go into the final turn with 4 SO points, and I think that's a good move. All right, so I'm going to end the video here. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome. 1 more day to go. I think I'm feeling really good about a good rating. Everything else, I don't know if we can pull off an excellent, but let's see what we can do.